What is going on, guys? My name is Cleo Thomas.
I'm Patrick Cloud.
And I'm the Anomaly Will Ferrell, and this is Coin Toss. This podcast is brought to you by Gridiron Gaming, powered by PFRPA, and produced by Thunder Studios. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, Coin Toss would not be Coin Toss if we didn't start off, of course, with Smash Bowl Week 3 has just passed here previously at Thunder Studios. And what a battle. What a freaking battle. Fellas, just how are y'all feeling right now? How we feeling? But like, Cleo, if you could let us know, like, just this is all I can do. Like, I lost words right now. I saw the clips and I was just
so much amazing stuff went down this weekend, man. Great. Group A3 went mostly as seeded Maester and Joker Hernandez advancing to stage 2 from the winner's side, and Eric, aka Mr. E, Weber advancing from the losers bracket. Some upsets along the way, though. We had Alexis Goblin Stennett and KKB Chase taking a convincing 3-0 victory over Mr. E and Salvatore Zamba Disana in round 1. Only one 5-game set taking place in round 1 with 8-Bit Man and Chunky Kong synchronizing well on Donkey Kong and Rob. That's a great tag team, actually. Donkey Kong and Rob, for sure.
Chunky Kong has one of the best usernames in the game, though. Chunky Kong is pretty hilarious. But despite no rule that involved character switching, each player actually stuck with one character, with 7 characters being used between the 8 players. 13 of 18 games were on Pokemon Stadium, that level, and the other 5 games were on Town, City, and Kalos. So we had the switch-ups.
Yes, we did. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And so just for all of that action, man, that's why some of this is going to continue to get down to the nitty gritty. You never know what's going to happen. As we said before, things can continue to change out through the week. So it's always going to be a different format for them to really test out their true skills at Smash Bros. And next week is no different. Next week you will be seeing the same rule set, actually. So I have to take all that back, because they're going to be keeping the same rule set. I know all of that trouble, but just to let them know that there was still a little bit of like boiling beef over, so people wanted to definitely try to get their rematches in. So it's going to be phone and a friend, aka doubles. Week 4, though, is one of the more stacked groups, and it's going to be consistent of MK Leo, MVD, Miles, and of course Colonies. I hope I did say that right. Colonies, excuse me. Let me say it the full way. Plus, their partners are also heavy hitters in the Smash scene. Folks just that'll be paired up that you may see. MK Big Boss, another one of the favorites coming from MK Leo's friend list, or AKA doubles. Puppa, who is also aligned with MVD. Dark Wheezy, who is aligned with Miles. And, of course, Sylvanas, who is partners with Colonies. That has to be from something now. That has got to be from some kind of lore somewhere. And so I'm going to do my due diligence to try to figure that out. But you can watch all of this action from the past week. And you should also watch all the action next week, this Sunday, November 22nd, at 4 p.m. and that is Eastern time, and so that's going to be 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Thunder Gaming's Twitch channel. So make sure you are following them at twitch.tv/Thunder Gaming LA. Do not forget the LA. And if you'd like to see the bracket or learn more about the rule set and format, you can check out the Smash's GG page, and that is smash.gg/tournament/Smash Bowl. Make sure you keep up to date with all of the players, update with the tour, the tournament, and the bracket to see who is going to be the ultimate Smash Bros. Champion. But speaking of ultimate champion, we got to talk about these new consoles, man. Who is the winner?
Man, I'm just saying this. I love Smash Bros. To death, but the Nintendo Switch is getting no love in my household. Had to put the Smash down and pick up that X, circle, triangle, square combo that we have all grown to love. And that is, of course, the PlayStation. Not 4. That was last week. The 5. Wow. The PlayStation 5 has dropped and people are going nuts. I'm seeing rappers pulling up on Instagram with 7 at a time, talking about, I got you. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy, but I'm not really seeing the same internet presence with the Xboxes. The Xbox Series X also did drop, but the PlayStation is taking over social media right now. Cleo and I are very blessed to have had to get ours, and I personally have been really, really playing Spider-Man Miles Morales. I didn't think, I was thinking like, how much better can it be than Marvel Spider-Man, which is one of my favorite games ever. And they really did add that level of detail, which makes it so that it looks better, it feels better, and it's super dope. It's an amazing game. I've also been playing Assassin's Creed. I've been playing Astro's Playroom, which is the free game that comes with PlayStation. That's actually really good, and it's the best fan service I've ever seen in a game. But yeah, Cleo, what's your experience been with the PS5 so far?
My experience has been trying to get a lot of my save files and games that I've already purchased on my PS4 over to the PS5. Okay. There's a PlayStation. Sony went out and put a detailed tutorial on transferring, which is using an Ethernet cable, connecting one end to your PS4, the other to your PS5, and it should transfer it a lot faster. But I've been dealing with a lot of that. I've jumped onto Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I attempted to play multiplayer in that, and I got to be honest, I realized I'm not a Black Ops player because there's two different companies that make the Call of Duty games. There's a company that makes Modern Warfare, and there's a company that makes Black Ops. I'm realizing that through the years of my life, I've never enjoyed the Black Ops games at all. Here we are with a brand new game, and I'm not enjoying it, so I will be sticking to what I know best, which is Call of Duty Modern Warfare, especially on the PS5. I have not had the opportunity to jump into the Miles Morales game, but hearing Pat's review of this game so far, I can't freaking wait. Because, again, you guys were actually the ones who put me onto the first Spider-Man game. I wasn't going to play it. I was not going to play the first Spider-Man game that was on the PS4 because I enjoyed the Batman Arkham series so much. And I was like, here we go with another superhero game. I'll just stick to what I know. You guys sold me on the Marvel Spider-Man game. I played it. I loved it. I loved every single second of it. And to hear you excited about it, Pat, I can't actually wait to jump into it today, actually. Play it tonight.
Marvel Spider-Man is top 5 for me, all time. It perfected the superhero game. And just to get you even more excited, just imagine that game with black swag. That's really the only way I can explain it. Like him web swinging. If you picture Peter Parker just like meat and potatoes, like ska, ska, ska. Miles is backwards. He's swinging upside down. It's crazy, and just like the fighting is more violent. He is like beating people up. So anybody who's out there, just if you can get your hands on a PlayStation, I highly recommend Miles Morales and Assassin's Creed. And I'm a huge fan of the update. I didn't think I'm one of those people that's just like, how much better could it be from 4 to 5? And I'm very, very impressed. I am a PlayStation groupie.
We haven't seen much love for the Xbox, man. I got to be honest. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's because there wasn't enough launch titles. Maybe Halo didn't roll out with it for people to be excited about. I'm not sure, but I'm not really focused on ever putting that Xbox in my house anytime soon, man. If this PS5 continues to do what it's doing, which is entertain, I'm in. I'm gonna keep it right here.
Don't do that. That y'all didn't plan on having it in there anyway. Listen, all right, we didn't come out the gate swinging. That's fine, okay? We didn't come out the gate swinging. We had Trump-like media hitting us with the steamers and the ping pongs. Nobody wanted to celebrate with. That's fine, okay? Next quarter though, maybe, and the next quarter after that, maybe. We're a maybe group over here, okay? That's us.
Xbox knows where they stand so much that they actually tweeted in celebration of the PS5. They was like, hey, we are happy to be gaming alongside of you in the next generation. Did you hear Sony ever look back and be like, huh? Oh, y'all good. Y'all handle y'all business. They wasn't hearing that.
Well, we know they weren't handling that business with emails and logins, but we're not going to bring that back up. So maybe they didn't get the email. How are those servers treating you? Credit cards still feel secure? Huh? Yeah. What is that? Silence? Huh?
No. Yeah. How's this for silence?
Sure. How's this? Well, that's disappointing.
And on that note, we have a great show for you guys. Cleo, why don't you bring in our guest for today?
Absolutely. Our next guest on the Coin Toss podcast represent Rockland, California. Was a defensive tackle, played college football at Boise State in Idaho. The man went on to play rugby as well. You may catch him out there streaming on Twitch, jumping into the war zone, making sure his loadout is correct before he, ever ends up taking the number one position in that. Ladies and gentlemen, Chase Baker is in the building. What up, Mr. Baker?
I get awkward. I don't know what to do when people hype me up. Like, woo, that's cool. Thanks.
You just accept it and just let it happen. How you
Great
feeling
being
today,
here
man?
with you fellas. Doing well, man.
That's what's
In
up.
the middle of a move, things are hectic, but I can't pass this opportunity up to say what's up to you guys.
Real quick, before we even start, because we did this off camera, you said that you're in the middle of a move and you're trying to get settled into your Twitch. Can you just flex on us one time? Can we see
the setup?
Just
All right,
just real quick.
Oh, he says, I just set it up. I just started. It's just started.
That's where we started. That's where we're starting.
No, that's some new stuff that we had to get for the new move. But yeah, it's not all hooked up yet, so I had to rock on the laptop today.
Awesome.
But we'll get there. Like I said, we're all rocking.
You got 3 monitors. You got the neon lights set up, man. You're rocking straight PC, I'm assuming, yeah?
Yeah, so it's gonna be a little different. This is kind of my first real PC, my first real rig. Just got that third monitor. I've always had the dual, but we got that third one up there. We're gonna try and rock. I did the streaming for a little bit about a year ago, and I was just kind of blindly shooting in the dark. Got a little better idea of how to build your community now, so I might give it another try. But yeah, I haven't been streaming much in the last year or so.
I'll never understand why getting into streaming is such a mystery and such a strange and uncomfortable process. But once you're going, you're going. But it's just that that first step into streaming. I don't know why it's not more user friendly by now, but I don't know. Maybe that's for the best.
No, I agree. I thought you type in some stuff and it streams, and everything goes. But there's a lot of engineering. You gotta get the audio right. That's a big deal.
Right.
You got to have capture cards if you're going PS4, which is what I use. Shout out to you guys with the PS5s already, but I'll get there.
We'll
get there. It's not a big deal. Not a huge deal.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Talking about my flag.
It's just in my camera at all times. Just
oh man, it's gorgeous. I'm jealous.
While we're talking about gaming though, and equipment, before we get into the nitty, that's weird to say nitty without nitty gritty. But real quick, you got to say both. Yeah. Have you always been PC, console wise? Do you have a team? Have you ever done Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo? Always PC?
So, if we go way back, the NES, that was my first kind of introduction. PlayStation 1, but I'm a PlayStation guy, man. I went to Xbox, and within a couple months, I got that red ring, and I never went back. I was like, all right, well, screw that. So,
isn't that how it goes? Isn't that how it goes?
No. That was one cycle of a console. But you know what?
We have a beef. So you.
But no, I've never done PC, and I've been a Mac guy, and this is kind of my first PC, and we're working to set it up. My partner, he I've watched him, and I've kind of seen just a little glimpse into this gaming world, and it doesn't seem like you can really function without a quality PC.
Yeah. Gotta have a strong build for sure. I have a PC. Will has a PC. Pat's in the process of actually building out his PC along with my brother. You mentioned that red ring of death. which was an Xbox, like it was a virus, like that was really rolled out to the public with that really in the console. Xbox recently rolled out the Xbox Series X and S. Did you happen to see the viral video of the smoke coming out of the Xbox Series X?
No, I don't keep up with any of the Xbox stuff anymore. No, I didn't see it. That's even worse though. The red ring of smoke. I mean, they're turning into 3D effects now, at least.
I thought this was about sports.
You just kept scrolling. You're like, I don't need to
video game. What this? I didn't come in here for Xbox slander. Okay, wait a minute. Can we talk about this second computer tower you got behind you already? Let's talk about that. Your PlayStation 5ers.
But
it is quite big.
It is, but it produces nothing but just beauty. You know what I mean? No red ring of death, no red stripe of death. No, it's just beautiful. You know, it's furniture at this point.
Amazing. A lifetime
so
amazing.
Since we're talking about kind of like going back, just to kind of get a feel for how you got into gaming and like what was the first few games, what was your first like love? We even have a game called we have a show called Games That Define Us, where we kind of go deep into the games that got us into gaming, that like sort of made us like, okay, I am a gamer now. So like, was NES your first system? And if so, like what was the first few games that got you into it?
Yeah, no. So I grew up in a town called Paradise, and it's a little mountain town in Northern California. And my dad was not about video games, so I never had a video game, but my cousin had one. And so I'd walk over to my cousin's house and go rock on their NES, their Super Nintendo when they got that. And that was how I kind of got my gaming fix in. And, you know, I remember starting on, it wasn't Pong, but it was like Brick Breaker. It was one of the brick ones. And that was cool to me. And then, you know, and then it became Duck Hunt. Duck Hunt kind of brought me in. But when I truly like embraced it and like spent way too much time on it, it was Call of Duty. It was the first Call of Duty. I was at a buddy's house, and he happened to have the first one. It was a family friend, and he was like, "Yeah, jump on there." And I was hooked ever since. And so I've had every single Call of Duty. That, like I said, this is the first one I haven't bought like on the spot. So I feel bad.
You've always been a shooter. You've always been a shooter, even going back to like Duck Hunt. You've just always wanted to shoot things.
Yeah, the shooter, exactly, man. So like I said, we moved, and so I was bringing all my guns over, and my wife was like, "How many do you have?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it. I got plenty." But yeah, I love the shooters. Love shooting in real life, but yeah, man, that's my deal.
I wonder if there's a correlation between that. If all like Call of Duty fans played Duck Hunt, I wonder if that's what started it all.
I'm more interested in I wonder how many like serial killers like started on Duck Hunt. You know, like if you think about it, like you had a whole community of people just turning their station on and shooting ducks for pleasure. And then,
don't be a stigma. We're trying to get rid of this, right? Come on now. So I don't think there'd be many, honestly. I don't think there'd be many. They'd be just enjoying killing their digital ducks, and they don't need to worry about going out and messing with real people.
There's at least 70 people that was like, I wonder how it feels to kill a real duck. And they just kept going.
Yeah, maybe, okay. I can see that. You know, people might have came and became, you know, avid duck hunters, but you know,
I like how
I don't know about serial killers. I'm hoping they didn't become serial killers, but we'll never know.
I like how you just skipped everything. Like no Call of Duty fans, not a hunter, not a rifleman, not even military. He was like, no serial killers. That's what's up.
They got a thing with animals. They got a thing with small animals. But do you remember what Call of Duty it was specifically that got you into it? Was it the multiplayer? Was it the campaign? Like, was it the zombies? Like, can you go more into like that first Call of Duty game that hooked you?
Yeah, it was the multiplayer, man, and just knowing there was somebody on the other side of it. That you kicked their ass, and so that was, you know, it was part of that competition. And so even now, like I love the fact that they give you like 3 seconds to hear the other person freak out in the Call of Duty, just because that's why I stick around.
All right, so I got to know, like, if you can, since we are on the Call of Duty, every person has like their top either like kill or just their moment in Call of Duty? Can you think of one that was just like so epic for you that you just like anytime somebody thinks of you, just like, yo, that one time on COD?
Man, do you know how many hours of Call of Duty I've played? Like that is
highlights.
Like there are way more Call of Duty highlights than I have with football highlights. So that's a tough one. Let me think. Man, no, I'm coming up with a blank on a specific play, but you know, some of those clutch where it's 1v4, 1v5, and you pull it off in some search or something, hardcore search. Those were the best feelings, I think. Yeah, no, there's been a few. You know?
So, do you have any taunt? So, like, we have someone that we are familiar with by the name of Model Morg. She is famously known for teabagging people after a kill. Famously known for. So, it's just like, do you have anything like? So, are you kind of just the respectful kill? Or are you kind of like a talker, like you talking smack on there? Like, what kind of player are you on the multiplayer?
Oh man, you know, it's funny because we were just talking about this, but no, I'm a mute, and I think that's why I struggled so much with gaming is because I don't talk. I'm locked in, and so like I can't multitask. I can't talk shit. I mean, talk trash and play at the same time. And you know, I can't. I like playing guitar. I can't play guitar and talk. So when I'm playing, like I'm playing. I'm not talking. I'm not. I'm just locked in. So I think they consider me respectful. It's not that, you know, I just can't talk trash as it is. So, you know, I apologize. I'm sorry you died, and we're moving on. But
oh, you're just bad at talking trash? I'm sorry. I'm
terrible. Oh, man. Sorry. Yeah.
I apologize.
Yeah, you suck, and that was the best I got. So
you almost seem like too nice of a guy for the toxic community that is online playing. Like I almost don't want you to get a headset. Like I almost don't want you in that environment. Like it's like don't. Because I mean, you hear some of the most horrible things.
On the flip side of that, though, if I die on some stupid stuff, then I freak out because now I'm not playing anymore. I'm not involved, and now you have the opportunity to lose it for a second, and be like, yeah, cuss them out, do whatever. But in terms of once killing other people, there's no trash talk. But when I die, that's when it might come out.
Love it. Love it. Dropping into Warzone for Call of Duty. Are you running quads? Do you duos, mostly trios, or are you dropping in solo? What do you prefer in that game mode?
Man, I like playing with my boys. I appreciate it. So it's usually trios, quads. If we only got one, we're rolling duos. And even if I'm by myself, I'll roll quads and just roll with randoms. There's more opportunity for more kills. You got a chance to go after full teams. A little more fun, but yeah, where are we dropping? Cleo, where are we dropping if we play, man? What's the spot?
Oh, off top, I like to either go straight to going straight to the dam, or I'm going to Storage Town. Storage Town I like because there's a lot of chests that are hidden in between all of the those wide open garages.
Yeah.
So Storage Town I like to hit up, man. Stay away from the Walmart of that map. Never go into the
Walmart. There's a Walmart,
but it's a superstore.
Yeah, it's a superstore. Superstore. Yeah. But speaking of that though, so now I have to know if let's say the four of us were doing a dropout, Chase, what is your go-to loadout? Like what are you? Because me, like I'm a sniper rifle type of person. I like to go up somewhere, get straight range view and let y'all know who's where, and if I need to clip somebody off, I can. What is your go-to loadout?
Man, I'm a CR Max guy. CRA Max, and I rock with that. I was rocking the Growl, and then they kind of nerfed it a little too much for me, and I made that switch, and I'm on that CR. And secondary, if I do overkill, I'm probably rocking the MP5 or a sniper, just depending how I'm feeling.
MP5 for sure. My loadout.
I personally get the BLT, and then I put the scope on it. I also have the CRP. And then every now and then I'll use the TMT. But yeah, usually I drop down. Whenever I drop down, I try to go for the street or the building. That's what I do.
Yeah. While you hide back, are you checking in with
one of us play Call of Duty. I am the imposter.
Man, what's your game then? What's your game?
You know what? I've just been playing a lot of PS5. You know what I'm saying? So just like Miles Morales, Assassin's Creed, stuff like that. Anything on the PS5 really. I'm even trying to, as long as it's on the PS5.
Three new games.
Do you get every time you say PS5 right now? Is that what's going down?
Not yet, but if I bug them enough,
PS5. I was like,
I have a quick question, just pivoting off of Call of Duty real quick. You've been playing football forever. Did you ever have like a Madden phase? Did you ever dip into like actually playing video game football as well, or did you kind of just leave that to the actually on the field?
No, I did. I love the NCAA games, and so while I was in college, were the last couple of years they were made, so that was awesome. We used to rock on that all the time. Boise was awesome to play with. That was fun as well. It sucks the way things went down. I hope they bring it back now that the NIL coming, but we'll see. But no, like Madden and stuff, it was always sporadic. It'd be like I buy a game and then probably wait 2 or 3 years before I get the next one. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing with my boys, but it was never like a mainstay for me. Like I have Madden 2018, I think the one with Tom Brady on it was the last one I bought, and that was fun. I had one of the ones where I was in it and I was the worst ranked guy on the team, and that was cool. So.
But you still got to put yourself in. You know what I mean? Like doesn't matter.
No, absolutely. I'm putting myself in. I'm seeing myself get pancaked. It's good. I'm rocking with it. It's cool.
Was it ever too much? Like, was it ever like, because we assume that people who play football professionally go home and just play Madden too. But was it ever too much? Like, damn, like I'm always playing football. I'm not trying to play in the video game too. I'm trying to be like a shooter or like go on an adventure when I play video games. Was it ever like too much football?
Yeah, no, I think that is part of it. I think a little bit's cool, but it was hard to go from, spending, 3-4 hours watching film, practicing for 2 hours. Then, when you go home, getting on more more Madden, that just wasn't part of my enjoyment. But I knew plenty of guys that did. The smartest football player I ever met, it was Kellen Moore. And so in college, the first time I met him, he was just creating plays on Madden. And I don't know if he did that throughout his career, but, he used the video game to help himself, build his ability to recognize stuff. And I'll never forget that. That was really cool. But no, that wasn't for me. After football practice, after film, I was going Call of Duty. I was, doing, like you said, Assassin's Creed, something like that.
Nice.
Yo.
Quick thing. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but Boise State is the college with the blue turf, correct?
Yes, sir. It's gorgeous. Beautiful.
How did you guys play on a blue football field? I have wondered this my whole life, and I'm so glad I get to ask you, Chick. It's blue. The whole entire football field is blue. How does this work? Is it a strategic thing to be able to throw off your opponents who are coming to you guys as college to play? Why was it blue?
Man, it's funny, but after, it maybe takes a day to get used to it, and then you're kind of used to it. It's still like your level, and it'd just be like playing on sidewalk or something. It's still just the ground. But where it really messed with people was watching film. I think it made it tough for opponents to watch the film and truly understand what we were doing, because it just kind of blended together. But in terms of us being on the field, we're upright characters, man. It's not like you're looking down. But film, I think, was the tough part for opponents.
Interesting.
I have to know strategic wise, because I'm looking at Boise State and I'm seeing exactly. Well, this is very strategic, and I'm trying to see if this is what y'all can tell me to do. Were your suits always blue when you played here?
Yeah, so they were blue the first 3 years, and then we moved to the Mountain West my senior year, and they actually made it a rule where we weren't allowed to wear blue on blue outfits on our blue field. Which is crazy, and we've appealed that, and that's no longer a rule against us. But yeah, when we first joined the Mountain West, they're like, "Yeah, you can't wear the blue on blue." So they tried to pull
this
that.
is so smart. This is so smart because it's like you said, if you watch tape, there's so much you can't pay attention to, and there's so much you can't see.
That's camouflage. You can say
you literally camouflaging yourself from me studying you. Like I can't even study your plays because of that.
Camo.
That's genius. That is genius.
It's funny because when you look up Boise State Field, all these YouTube videos come up it just has giant text on it like, why is it blue? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Why is it blue? Like the whole internet is like freaking out. But that's cool that we got to hear firsthand.
Yeah, man. If you ever see it in person, it's like the pictures are cool, but it's special in person, man. It's a beautiful area. Boise is an amazing place. If you ever get out there, it's gorgeous. It'll always have a place in my heart because my wife's from there. It's just a beautiful place.
Beautiful.
That was what's.
So
how many times do I need to? All right.
Can we talk about rugby now? Is this a good
Talk
time?
about rugby.
You are an actual rugby player as well, and I've actually never met anybody who's played rugby. Like I don't even know if there's any rugby league. So how did that happen, and how was that different from football? Because I can only imagine like that transition is just like, all right, no pads, go out there and fight, and there is also a ball involved. Like that, like to me, like that. Kind of like what rugby is. So, like, how did that happen?
Man, it was a high school thing, and that they had it was kind of like multiple schools, so it was kind of a club, but it was a regional club, right? So multiple schools, and so they sent an invite, and I just happened to see it, and one of my cousins had played rugby, and he ended up playing actually on the U.S. team, and so I just never messed with it. So went out and loved it because they give you the ball, dude. I've always been a big ass dude, and so all of a sudden I get to carry the ball, and I was fairly athletic back in the day, so it was just awesome being able to juke guys, run truck guys, tackling. It was just it was really fun, and honestly, like if they would have offered full ride scholarships between rugby and football, it would have been a difficult choice because rugby was a blast, man. It was one of the it's right up there with football, honestly, in terms of enjoyment. But being able to run the ball definitely makes a difference. I did a little bit in high school. You gotta run some plays, but as like a full time guy, and so I was the 8-man. And so if you've ever seen it, they have the scrum and they kick the ball back, and so and then the 8-man picks it up and he starts the play, and so I got to pick the ball up, and I could choose either to throw it out or I could take it off myself and just. It was awesome. And so at the time, I was just bigger than everybody, could truck them. Good stuff.
So I never thought about
it. Go ahead.
Question I do have, but like I know, like in football, like there's certain ways that you can tackle people without getting like a penalty or a flag. For rugby, do they use that same format, or is it kind of just like, go for what you know to get the person?
Yeah, I don't think there was no penalties for how you tackled someone. If you went in with your head and tackled them, I don't think you got flagged or anything, but you're getting jacked up because there's no helmet now. So you had to be on point, and so the Seahawks and their head coach over there, they've made a really good, they've used the rugby style tackle, and they've learned from some of the professional rugby teams because, they're very sound in their technique and how they wrap up and make sure they get guys on the ground without, putting themselves and their necks and their head in danger. So, I think you go in there with your head, but you're going to be hurting.
Yeah. Okay. Well, damn.
I've seen highlights. I've seen the plays. It's far more brutal than what football is. There's no pass. You guys are just body against body colliding. And I just got to know, man. Like you said, it would have been a hard choice if they would have offered a full ride scholarship between rugby and actual football. So I'm wondering, is there an actual league, like Pat just mentioned, even in the West Coast is there a team that you would have played for that if you would have took the rugby route?
So I think most rugby in like the college level is club. And so I know I had guys that played at like San Luis Obispo, Boise has a rugby club. And so they traveled and they played, but overseas is where it's really big. I actually got the chance to go over and play in England, and that's where you're going to see the leagues, and that's where it's really big. Obviously, New Zealand's probably world famous for their rugby. Wales, some European countries are the big rugby players, but yeah, honestly, so when I went over to seas, we stayed at one of the colleges, and they offered partial scholarships for rugby out there. It still wasn't full, but even that was tempting, just to go to a different country to play rugby would have been cool.
I don't get how they like regulate the injuries. Like it seems like they would in football, people hit, like it seems like dudes hit to try to injure people. So it's like, how are there not just dead bodies all over the field every single game? Like, is it something that is like a real like respect thing where like people don't really try to hurt each other, or are the injuries just like crazy compared to the NFL or football in general?
No, I'm pretty sure there's a much lower injury rate in rugby actually, because you don't have the ability to just go smack with the pads. You're not flying in with complete disregard thinking you have protection. You know that you have to protect yourself and you have to be safe. And if you want to keep playing, you're not just going to like barrel in and dive into a pile. So, there's a lower injury rate in rugby than in NFL or any kind of football situation.
That makes sense. I guess.
Yeah, I think I mentioned too, like how you kind of like how you wrap up on somebody, so it's kind of like hitting them and then taking them down and stuff like that. So
exactly. And so, a lot of it, they're not putting their head across and the way that, the gator roll stuff. And so there's a lot of techniques to bring guys down, and there's ways to do it safely. And we've seen that transition. The NFL is trying to make that just part of it because we're trying to get rid of the injury, because, it's hard when you have, the stars and the guys that are paid the big bucks and they go down to some injury that can be prevented. So I think they were just trying to get rid of that. But I think that's a fine line of keeping guys safe and then not taking away from the game and taking away from the joy and the violence of football. Football is a violent game, and I think that's why people enjoy it. So it's hard not to overstep that bounds of removing that violence without while still keeping people safe.
I'm little, so rugby has never even crossed my mind ever, and it's that's just like an interesting sport, and I'm wondering why it's not bigger out here. But I do have an idea. What if you started streaming a rugby game on Twitch? I feel like I would hop in that. I feel like rugby are there rugby video games?
Yeah. I have no idea, but let's do it. I'll stream. I'd love to play some rugby games. That'd be awesome.
That'd be
I don't know the last thing came out with. Yeah. But I think EA is like, what was that last one? I think 18 maybe?
There was a rugby 18. It came out in 2004. EA was the actual it looks like they had the title for it. There was rugby 08. Looks like the last time EA was in charge of it. But there is a rugby 2020. Is there a release date? Initial release date was September 12th, 2019. I'm not sure if it's actually been released yet. Final version will be available January 23rd, 2020. So we should be out.
Who's streaming rugby games? We should take that lane over.
Let's go. Let's rock with it.
Let's hop on this rugby and show them who's boss.
This is great.
But did y'all have any other rugby questions? Because I did have something else and whatnot before we got out of there. No. So I just want I wanted to kind of just pivot from rugby now. You are the owner of the Athletic Elevation platform. So I just wanted to get like a little bit more information, if you could, about exactly what that is and what made you want to start that.
Yeah, man, Fate. And so Fate was my base. So after I got done playing, I immediately jumped into the scouting stuff. I went and scouted with the 49ers for a little bit, did with the Vikings. I was with Pro Football Focus for about a year. And that was cool. And combine that with the idea of wanting to help guys get recruited and help them kind of put their numbers out for the recruiting aspect. I was always injured throughout my career. I had 8 knee surgeries. Just had spinal fusion last year. I was always injured, and so eight of them things, all on the left knee. But and so I wanted to see if I could prevent some of that, and so started creating the idea for this combine mat that would help optimize performance and prevent injuries. And so I paired up with some engineers out here in Plano after while I was at school at SMU, and we started building something. And so we have our prototype, we have MVP. We're still working. The software has been an issue for us, and then COVID kind of took over and really put us, trying to figure out where to go next. So that's still pre-rev. That's been my baby. I've been, working on that. We've been developing it for a couple of years, and I still think that's something I really want to do. And that'll provide some awesome resources and help for young athletes. But in the meantime, actually the guy you saw earlier who was trying to help me with my computer, I connected with him, and I wanted to do a podcast. I wanted to do a gaming podcast where I sat down with, my athletes, gamers, entrepreneurs, and we just, we game for an hour or so, set the controllers down, and we have a conversation and talk things through, and, we'll figure out the rest as we go. But and so he came to make that happen. He's an OG in the streaming and video game world, and so we started putting that together, and we were going to call it Connected by Fate, and obviously connected to the athletic platform that I've been building. And everybody knew me as the gamer and the nerd while I played at high school, college, professional level. And so during quarantine, everybody just started asking, hey, help me get set up with streaming. What do I need to do? And so I met Ian, and I was like, yeah, let me get my boy. And all of a sudden, we were helping these athletes get set up and getting their streams going and teaching them OBS and teaching them Discord. And so that since quarantine and since COVID hit, that's kind of taken over while I figure out what goes down with the mat and trying to get that thing going. But so I've really been into this gaming scene for the last 4 months. And learning, I really don't know anything about it. And so it's cool because every day you're learning something new, you're seeing new games. You're learning stuff that you didn't know was part of this ecosystem and this industry. So it's been awesome.
Isn't it so funny that nerds and people who were doing Twitch and all the stuff, with gaming, everybody was like, yeah, okay. And then COVID hit, and then it was like, well. Now all of a sudden everybody's like, hey man, how you do the little Twitch? They do the little podcast thing, and it's like we had that advantage, and it's like COVID was just like, all right, well, yeah, I'll hook you up too, but we were there first.
Yeah, man. And so that's kind of what we're doing. Like I said, I'm really lucky. I got hooked up with Ian Zeno, as he goes by online. He's just OG, and he knows everything, and he breaks it down for me in ways I understand. And I bring the traditional sports side of things into it, and we're just kind of doing this cool crossover. And he's gotten like 25 guys partnered, so that's kind of what we're rolling with. Is help getting them that foundation to get partnered and kind of build their monetization process. And yeah, it's been awesome, dude. I love it.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So,
okay, so do you plan on getting any of the new systems? So one thing we've always wanted to know was, I think Pat always had an interesting question, and people always have a dope answer for it. How much further can a game console really go? Now, we saw what they did with the PS5. We've seen the two of them activate their PS5s. We've seen them play. They've got a lot more interactive inside. That wasn't necessary, Cleo, but thank you. We've seen them get very interactive, but a lot more onto the personal side and stuff like that. So it's just like, how would you see for yourself as far as this gaming experience when it comes with Twitch, these new consoles? Like, what is the future for Chase when it comes to video gaming and these new consoles?
Yeah, I don't know if I needed to get any more complex, but I think we're the graphics are amazing, and they'll probably still continue to improve, and it'll be even crazier. But I think we're seeing that kind of transition to the AR VR world, and that 3D stuff, and that's becoming big. And I think that's where, if you're trying to go bigger and better, that's kind of going to be that transition. But for me, I'm just fine just killing my digital, guys on Call of Duty.
Maybe VR Call of Duty?
I'm down to try anything, and so I'm jumping on the PC. I'm rolling with this jumping on this trend, but I still need a controller in my hand. I need that controller. That's the way I roll.
I got one more as a wrap-up question. What has been your favorite remote controller throughout all the years of gaming? What is your number one on your list video game controller?
Oh man, I've never even thought of that. That's a great question.
Go through.
No, I think, and this is the cheating, but, for the first time I tried a Scuff about a year ago, and that's probably been like the best controller. And it's not like an official controller. It's kind of a cheating answer, but yeah, those Scuffs are nice. Yeah.
Really nice. The back paddles for sure help when you're out there in the field. I get it.
Yeah, man.
That's the Super NES controller for you?
Yeah, the little things, but I've got big hands, so they're like this big guys. So. But no, actually, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Texas, but I just moved next to Nerdvana. But it's this like gaming coffee shop and restaurant, and so at each table there's a gaming system, and so yeah, I'm gonna be best friends with these guys over here.
Hang on, let me see this. Nerdvana Frisco.
Nerdvana Frisco. Yeah, hopefully everybody's not gonna come creep on me, but yeah, I literally look over Nerdvana.
Oh, that's
it's
cool.
Dope.
Frisco. There's video games at every table. This needs to be an arcade token strip for sure.
Man, for real. We gotta go over there and
yeah, man.
That's pretty cool. A scratch kitchen and more. Yeah, that's super dope.
Yeah, and so right above them, it's the hex quarters. I don't know if I shouldn't be saying all this, man. I'm giving people
right.
But yeah, so it's like a gaming. This is like a gaming hub almost. That they have Complexity over at the Star right here in Frisco. Scump and Hector and all these guys have setups here, and so it's just a big place for gamers, man. It's a great place to be.
Nice. Hey, man, let us know. We'll set a rugby game up.
Right. Get on some of this Call of Duty too.
For sure. Yes, absolutely, man. Chase, thank you so much for spending time with us today, man. Answering all of our questions when it came to rugby. Why is the Boise State University field blue? Letting us know about your athletic evaluation platform. We really do appreciate it, man. Chicks, can let the people know where to find you across all social media platforms so they can keep up with you during the COVID situation and then even beyond this.
Yeah, man. So I think most of them are Chase Baker 91 or 91 Chase Baker. Honestly, I've kind of set most of the social down, and I try and focus on LinkedIn, try and stay on that grind, especially with the way the atmosphere has been in Facebook and Twitter. Just it's hard to stay on there long. So add me on LinkedIn if you're going to do anything. That's probably where I'll be able to respond and hang out with you.
Businessman, I love it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, fellas. Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure. We got to get that Warzone in. Shoot. Like you said, Quality 91. Quality 91 on PlayStation. We're rocking.
I'm loving it, brother. I will be looking up for you. I'm hitting you with the search ASAP, man. You have a great day. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Chase.
Peace.
All right, guys. Chase Baker, man. Rugby enthusiast, could run through you. Dude's big. You could just tell already. Dude's big. All we saw was from the chest. It's like, I'm not playing rugby against this guy.
You don't consider rugby if you're not big. It's not a thing.
No, you got to be a sturdy guy to get out there on that field, man. But I'm so happy to have asked a Boise State football player about that field. Did you guys know about that blue field?
No, and I definitely didn't know it was camouflage for film. That's pretty wild.
Right, they got away with it for years.
That's smart though, because I was just like, well, maybe they wear orange or maybe they wear white, but he was like, we wear blue most of the time. I was like, And there's nothing in the rules that state you don't have to do that.
That's dope. They found a great workaround, man.
I feel like all
Man,
grass needs to be like colleges, their colors.
It would be kind of cooler to see that. You know, we've seen green for so long. Like, it's only going to be a matter of time before we see something change to the actual football field. We've seen the NBA add new things, especially during the playoffs this year. It was really digitally, especially through the watching through the broadcast. They've added a new graphics to it. So we'll see. There's some really ugly courts out there though. Like, I think it's the Minnesota Timberwolves court that's like all trees, as if it's like shadows over the arena. Have you guys seen that basketball court?
I haven't seen that basketball court.
It's a really weird thing that they did for that, man. But nonetheless, this was a really great episode, and I'm excited for us to continue to talk to these guys, man. Like, being able to not only ask them about, you know, what it was like to be a professional athlete and play one of the hardest games that there is out there to be a part of, but also making that transition over to esports, to streaming, to gaming, and knowing that they all come from that same world as us, man. They had a remote control. They had a Super Nintendo remote controller in their hand just like us.
Mm-hmm. That's super dope. Yep. It's merging between the jocks and the nerds. Love it.
For sure.
Love it indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that has been another episode of Coin Toss. Once again, we would like to thank Chase Baker for stopping through, hitting us with some of the Call of Duty stuff. Got me excited about Call of Duty. Just a little bit more to watch. Not join, but watch. So hopefully we'll see that soon. Hopefully you'll see us do a little bit of rugby as well. But make sure that you check out Coin Toss. Every week, we're always interviewing some athlete. You never know who, legendary status, whatever kind of status, but we're here to talk about that, games, and of course, the Super Smash Bros. Tournament that we have going here at Thunder, and of course, everything gaming. So just tune in next time. As always, we've been Arcade Tokens. I am the Anomaly Will Ferro.
Leo Thomas, aka Mr. Slick Living.
I'm Patrick Cloud.
And we will catch you next time.